Uh, Picking back up where we left off. I don't even know, if the other one's saved. I'll check it out later. Like I said, I'm gonna splice these two together, and let's finish it off here.
Point of creation is also the highest from another perspective.
Yeah. I like that, Yaski. Yeah, that just fits, doesn't it? I really resonate with your message. Yeah, yeah. But that was never articulated before. I did not. I didn't. I've been looking at, looking for, how can I help? How? What can I do about this? And in a very real sense, what can we do? And you just said it. I'm going to back this up and listen to that again, because this is important. It's like, what can we do? What you watching this? If you're into this stuff, are you wrapping your head around all this creation stuff and the responsibility thing and who's creating what and all that? Whoa. Yeah, let's hear this again, this one part.
Both sides at once, when looking specifically that way. In other words, they are not getting away with it. And if we are all reflection and creation of each other, and there are no densities, and we are all one, as in ourselves above and us down here, so in theory and practicality, it matters not through what side we access the problem. It can be accessed from down here and from up there as well.
Yeah.
And even better, from both sides at once. There are no sides.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, you were here. You heard that. Okay, yeah.
Either way side you address the problem, the solution will reflect.
Right.
From my or the Taiketan perspective, no, indeed, the humans did not create the Federation. Yet, from their perspective, they did, and they not only control it, but create and modify it all the time. In that case, I could only access the Federation from Earth, and not from here where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Here's a way to look at it. Let's imagine for a second that this is a story. We're telling the story of life, the story of Earth. And different people will have different stories about Earth and how it started and what's going on Earth right now and where it's going to go. It's just a story, like a novel. Okay? But when you hear a story, you create it. Like when you read a good novel and you got good visuals especially, you're reading it, and as you read the story, you are manifesting it. You're literally creating it in thought forms. You're visualizing the mountains and the horses and the rivers, and you right now reading a novel are a creator, super creator being. Okay, now the story that the people of Earth are getting are about the Federation. So as we hear stories about the Federation, we start imagining it, and we might add in some details or some assumptions or conclusions. We get a little bit of information about it, and then we add a lot more, but we're creating the Federation in that way. So this has been going on a lot in recent years about the Galactic Federation and the ETs and stories that we hear from the Galactic Federation. Various ETs are telling stories about what's going on out there. So the story about the Galactic Federation we are hearing in our environment one way and another, and then we are considering it, and from a consensus reality, we're creating the Galactic Federation the way it is. So that would be the source of the creation, is the people on earth thinking about it and having thoughts and feelings about it, and all this. So the way to access, if you're not of earth, or you're not on earth, and you're not part of this creating this reality, what the Galactic Federation is, if they are outside of that, they have to move inside, or they have to contact us here and share the story, and how to that we are creating the story, we are creating our own reality, we are creating the matrix. We're trapped within the consciousness, or the mind, what we're creating within the mind, or within consciousness of what we think and feel. We're being trapped by our own limitation, our own beliefs about ourselves and the reality that we live in. And this is the matrix. It's what we think and feel and believe, and what we've agreed to. So this construct of reality, that's what we're in. They are outside of this, and they're creating something different. They're not the source of the federation that we are creating with our thoughts and imagination, the stories we hear with around here. So we are creating this federation, and it's to be able to help us, they would have to contact us here and share how this is happening, that we're creating our own reality, and that we're creating the federation the way we are creating it. Okay, so with an understanding of that, then we have the next step would be strategies or techniques for changing the reality of what the Federation is, and how they're treating us on Earth, and how they're supporting one side and oppressing the other side in this game on Earth. And so we have to become more enlightened on who and what we are and how we are creator beings, so that we can start uncreating or discreating or stop creating the reality that we now have as regards the Federation. So with us on the ground, with our YouTube channels and websites and different things, if we can spread that word and get that out, this is, I'm trying to interpret, or what do you mean exactly? It'd be up to us to help people understand these principles and concepts in such a way that they are more empowered, and get a sense and a feel that they can change reality. They can turn it all around by what they think and feel. And so there's different levels of stepping it up and imagining a better reality. And so there's definitely more here to understand and learn. And I'm listening to this for that reason, aside from wanting to be able to express my thoughts and feelings about this as we go. Very interesting, learning more to become.
You're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, this sounds like a whole bunch of nonsense. Thoughts creating reality, etc., etc. I urge you to look into law of attraction, instant manifestation. Uh, there's different things that I've done in the past that, I was very specific one day when I decided to test the law of attraction stuff, because I felt like it was being used against me and by a relationship partner, and so I wanted to put it to the test. And I created what I wanted in my mind to happen that day, and I spent a lot of time enjoying that thought and playing with poi and making myself happy and in a good mood and high spirits, and then I enacted that plan. it didn't 100% go as I planned, but I created more and more on that journey, and ultimately it turned into exactly what I wanted. And I created that. I mean, that was no doubt about that. I talk about that was the beer run story when I came back with um, I got a ride home in a red car. You know, I created and visualized everything, and it happened. So you know, this stuff isn't too far out of the realm of possibilities. So you know, I keep my mind fairly open still.
Become more enabled and be more responsible for what's going on in my reality. Okay, here we go.
Reason why I need you and your YouTube channels to make myself be heard. The lowest point of creation is also the highest from another perspective, due to the cyclical nature of existence.
Yeah. When I was talking about boots on the ground here, imagine being not just in the next level out of the regressives and the progressive ETs duking it out and playing these games and stuff. And we're in here. We're creating what we think this is. So it's within the consciousness, our consciousness, thus our matrix, within the mind of our limited thinking. That's our matrix, right, that we're caught in. Simulated reality, because we're being influenced by other people's thoughts and beliefs. So, and then we continue making or imagining what other people have influenced us to think and feel, but we have to step back out of it. We are those other people. What? Yeah. So what are we really doing here, and why are we really doing it from a higher influence, a level of influence? We're causing ourselves to think this, so this can happen. But now, being the aware, conscious, knowing, responsible creator being as a human, but with this expanded consciousness, you're outside the 3D bubble, so to speak, and now you see things from a 5D, you know, what's going on from your perspective, what you imagine, what you think and believe is going on in fifth density reality is your only reality, and you're creating that. Now you step out of that into a greater consciousness to, like, you know, architect, dream architect, all reality is a dream kind of thing. You step into that, and now you realize you're creating all of it. But to get an understanding of what am I doing and what am I living and experiencing, then you go back cyclic. You're back down, boots on the ground. You can go expand back up, and then back boots on the ground. You can live it from here. You can live it from fifth density reality. There's aspects of ourselves and in that reality.
I totally understand that. You can live this reality of being mostly ignorant to everything above, or you can fucking connect straight to all that knowledge and things, access knowledge that you should not have access to, that is purposely hidden from us through the means of media and you know, social media, news, music, all the hypnosis they have in TV. And so what's bizarre is when you manage to connect to that information, you see this reality for everything that it is, and it's pretty much how it's being described here, in a lot of ways. Like, this is where I'm at, and I'm hearing it be described in a not very very different way than I have kind of come to it on my with my own conclusion. You ask, you shall receive. Well, hey, one big pond, what's up? You know, ask who? Because you're not really asking anybody or anything for this information. You can and you will. You can ask and receive. You can do that, but you don't need permission to do this. You can sort of like backdoor it and just connect the plug right up into Christ consciousness, is what I call it. These are people that have Kundalini awakenings. These are people that end up like that. And believe me, I've talked about this a couple times this month. This is like the pattern of things that I need people to hear. Is like, once you wake up to this information and you decide you want to connect to that reality to see how this one is really being done, you can't just start operating here while your consciousness is up there and connected to all that is in the know. Because once you do, you think I'm censored. Well, I'm not dead. Will not let it happen. They don't outright kill you, which is probably a law, some kind of universal galactic federal law. It can't just outright kill you, but they can plant a seed in a song. They can drop some money in a note. They can hire any hired gun. Yeah, as long as they get somebody else to do that. Yeah, it's probably not that same kind of karma. Maybe, I don't know. There's a reason why they don't just kill off certain people. Certainly. And I wonder that. I think I'm both censored and extremely protected at the same time, um, especially from influences in the spirit realm, like astral projector that taught me everything I know, or at least introduced me to the. I was just say introduced me to the topic when I thought he was a nut, and he completely proved it to me in multiple ways in the same hour. Several different things he came and saw that this was before Google satellite. This was before Google. This was MySpace time, and and I don't even think Google was even around during MySpace. I don't know, but it was before everything. It was before satellite view, and the dude said he couldn't touch me. He couldn't get close to me when he was out of body. Um, I've had experiences with people in my vicinity being fully possessed, straight up something else living in that body for that amount of time, and I've manipulated that energy. I've cast it out, and twice with success. Once landed me in a cage where they were trying to stick me with a needle. The same time as the last time they stuck me in a cage, tried to stick me with a needle when I was going through Kundalini awakening Christ consciousness. So when they realize that you have the ability to tame demonic spirits, when they realize that you have all the knowledge and everybody's deepest darkest secrets that's standing around you in the same room and shit like that, they wanna shut you up. They'll stick you in a cage, they'll stick you with a needle, and they make you forget. Yeah. But yeah, I threw a nurse into the wall last time because I wasn't gonna go through that uh wake up a week later having a walk-in seizure thing for the second time. And there's a reason why they didn't pursue charges for felony attack on hospital staff. Because with Christ consciousness, you know the words to say, and the words were that was self-defense. Let's move on. There's a lot of stuff about this reality that people have not experienced, and when you do experience certain parts of this reality and how the government gets a hold of it in regards to squelching information, censorship, and especially the spiritual end of it. Let's just say there's more than enough reasons why I'm taking in this kind of radical information. I'll absorb it. I'll take time to digest it, and you guys that follow the shows that I do, you'll get some information, all right. And I hope you're taking it in. This is interesting stuff.
Reality system, or that matrix, that idea of a density reality. There's aspects of ourselves in that reality system, or that matrix, that idea of a reality. And then back up here to creator mode. And I'm sure there's levels between what we call fifth density, but it's just a level of consciousness, but there's other levels and layers, but you're out here and then back here. So it's cyclic in that way, and you can go either way. You can cycle from your being the small point of view and the limited awareness, and then back down, cyclic, or you can start with the big size, start with the double cheeseburger, and just go down to chicken McNugget. Chicken McNugget down here being like all chicken and shit. And then go, no, wait, that's no, we got, I mean, and cyclic in that nature. Anyway, just talking here.
Reason why I'm always saying you all there are the real gods. The problem is that you there function in a creative mode that only operates from the collective unconscious and not from an individual PowerPoint or view.
I really love what you're saying, Yaski. You're great. You're wonderful. I really have a good connection with you and your message. Because I'm like, yeah. Wow.
This because it is the nature of the existence there. To be an apparent victim of the experience there is the matrix itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
The key words here are collective unconscious. So that must be made aware to the people, because I seriously doubt many have even heard of the collective unconscious as the reason and the point from where everything is manifested into their lives.
Yeah, the collective unconscious is like we're unconscious collectively, not conscious, not aware, not knowing, collectively unaware, unconscious of what we're creating and how we're creating it. And we are creating this around us. We are creating our life and our reality.
Most of us are definitely unconscious of the fact that we are creating. Very strong statement, and it's amplified when you put that to the test. Us flatties know we can't just take information and not put it to the test, right? Can't listen to what NASA tells us and believe it. We know that. We had to put that to the test to find that out. Same thing with this. I had enough of hearing people say this kind of stuff. We're creating stuff with our thoughts. I'm like, come on. You know, and here's me being able to pull out headaches, nausea, tooth pains, gave somebody an orgasm by lightly touching the center of their spine after moving chakras in alignment. Yeah, it was an article I read. I put it to the test. Worked. Freaked her out, poor girl. Thing was, I put everything to the test, man. It's too wild and fascinating to me not to. You know, so this creating your thoughts creating reality thing. You know, I put that to the test with the law of attraction and my trip to that store for my beer, and coming back home in a red car. That wasn't mine. I created that. It happened specifically. So I mean, I did it. I've taken a big glass of water and put energy into that water. Energy, thoughts of money, thoughts of getting a big job, landing a big easy job, and being happy. And I put all that in the water and I drank it. And the next day I landed this stupidly easy like $300 job. A couple of times now. I've learned that my thoughts control a lot of my income. Now, if I'm overwhelmed at work and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want any more work, I have dry spells. And then when I'm like, holy shit, you know, like I really, really need like a big job, I'm like, this last time I did it, I said specifically, I need this company to like come back with another big job. Literally the very next day, they came back with a $350 job. They're typical big order they come with every couple of months. I hadn't thought about them in any which way for a while until I was like, you know what? Really, I was sitting on the toilet. I was taking a dump, and I was like, I want to manifest money. I'm like, I'm just freaking broke right now. I need money. Yo, blah 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 company, come on, send me a job. Send me another job. Boom. The next day it happened. Not the first time, second, third, fourth, fifth time I've done it. It's racking up now. So urge yourself to start creating your reality consciously.
But as you become aware that you are doing this, you become aware of the details of how it's being done and how you are doing it, then you become conscious. And you individually, not collectively, individually become clearly aware of what you are doing. And you're snapping out of any group hypnotic trance state of collective unconscious programming that just keeps on pouring in, day after day
Program.
for people that are not waking up. But you're waking up. You're watching this, so whether you're tracking with it or agreeing with all of it or not, you're still here listening. So that's good. Keep up the good work. Creator being, conscious, awakening. Yeah. But the collective unconscious is what people have been involved in and are involving themselves in and with. And they're creating this unconsciously and collectively.
How many people do you know that still believe in a ball? How many people do you know that still give money and donate to space science, NASA, and rocket travel, Tesla, and Elon and his bull? How many people believe in that? How many people go Gaga over Gaga, Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian's ass? All the music they put out with when you look at it, it has obvious symbolism, it's obvious messages. A lot of these messages aren't good. Um, they're creating music and it's shaping our minds, our thoughts, and thus our reality. And they're reaching these people that aren't, you know, those messages they're putting out in music is creating, uh, it's putting intention, it's creating desires within us. And those desires, we go for those desires. So we put our energy towards those desires. Whatever their message is, they're shaping our realities with the music, with television, and it's programming. It's literal program. This is totally going to take me out of my element as I'm now wondering like why is no, it's not a buffering problem, it's OBS, literally OBS. The whole streaming program is just crashing randomly. It doesn't like the fact that I simply want to hide my camera and unhide my camera at my leisure. It's having a lot of problem with me doing that tonight for whatever reason. I might just have to switch to girl. Uh, so I guess we'll see if it wants me to be a girl tonight. This is some sort of like attempt at them trying to shame me. I'll be girl. I don't care. Uh, the message is important. So
Okay, forgive my insisting, but I still don't understand why the Federation in 5D can be accessed only through 3D if you are in 5D, where the Federation is. Aren't you closer?
My thoughts on that are that no, we're actually closer because the problem we've created here on Earth with the Galactic Federation, those within the Galactic Federation that are calling the shots on Earth through their agents and members and mirrors or avatars or clones or whatever, but the consciousness that is those beings, Jupiter, we call dark forces, they are investing themselves in Earth in these different ways and thus controlling and dominating Earth in this way. And we, boots on the ground, just regular humans, are the effect of all of that. And they're running the show right now. We are the effect of that. So this is the connection that we are to, even though we call it 5D, it's our understanding and thoughts and thinking about 5D, we are creating that, what's going on, either vaguely or generally speaking, but we're creating that ourselves, not the Tibetans. The Tibetans might have a completely different look at it, and they're seeing it differently, they're creating it differently, and they're being individually conscious and aware of the scenario. They will see things differently. So, like that. This is my thoughts on it. So it has to be us, because we have to change from here what we're creating. That point of view that you're the conscious creator of all that is, including every individual and every being, you personally, me personally. Yeah. So we have to change up how we think and feel about these things to cause the changes to manifest in our life and experience. Excuse me. Okay, here we go.
The part we can access from here, the 5D Federation you are referring to, is the part we have been dealing with. And they also claim that they cannot access what is controlling everything from above. That indeed happens to be below, meaning the point of view of broken shoes. Again, as I have said so many times, and people cannot grasp why, broken shoes is the key and the only ones who can solve the problems of Earth. You say they cannot organize? So be it. Then they will experience the pain and the hardship of not having been able to organize. I am not grasping that part. And they, the Federation, also claim that they cannot access what is controlling everything from above, that indeed happens to be below. Why is that above level below? That above level you said was in Saturn, not Earth.
You know, that's a really good question. But for myself, I've covered that and I've answered that in the way I've been expressing my thoughts. You know, and it goes both ways. You know, from above, fifth density, it's still you and me. It's you. Above, you could say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 density. I'm not going with the whole density thing. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to stop using that word. It was never really my thing, but they started calling it third density reality. I always called it physical reality. And then I called beyond physical reality was the greater reality. And because I've gone out of body, our consciousness shifted from this physical reality to these greater reality systems. I've been on spacecraft when they've been shot at and attacked. I've been on freighters. I've been on ships with a lot of people. A lot of experience with this sort of thing, personal first-hand experience. So anyway, I understand the concept of different realities or belief system territories or alternate realities, parallel universes, and alternate time tracks and all this sort of thing. So anyway, from a higher level would be a higher level of consciousness, expanded consciousness. And you see it and you create it from a different level. So from this higher level of consciousness, we are the game creators, and we're creating this game, like I said earlier. So I feel like what I said earlier kind of covers this next question. But that's from above. But from below, same thing. We are still that creator consciousness, but with an expanded consciousness, breaking out of the collective consciousness of it all. So that's how I see it. So anything I say in response to this before we hear what Yaski has to say about it, I feel like I've already said. And because I've been going on for a while, I'm going to end off here, having concluded that I've kind of answered that for myself. And so I'm going to wrap it up here. And no, I got this. Yeah, let's hear what Yaski has to say about this. Okay, here we go.
The Federation here claims that Saturn only says that they are there, but are not controlling Earth, or they even do not acknowledge having anything to do with the problem.
Okay, interesting point. It's like different realities for different levels. You know, the Tibetans are seeing and hearing stories, just like we're seeing and hearing stories. They're hearing information, and they're creating their reality as they go, just like we are here. And then you've got those that are saying the Galactic Federation as a group are saying things about Jupiter, and so they're creating a reality for themselves collectively. And when you know these two realities merge, there's a processing, and there's like set and a subset within the context of this, whatever this side is agreeing with what this side is saying, you get the subset, and within that you get another reality of how things really are. And we're not on third density or physical reality, we're not included within that set and that subset of the Tibetans relative to these other groups, the Galactic Federation from the perspective of the Jupiter, and then the Galactic Federation from the perspective of some other greater organization of which the Jupiter part is a faction. And there's all these realities are mixing and combining, and then for the Tibetans to be able to express that to us here on Earth, and we're down here, you know, we're barely getting into the set and the subset of their reality, and what we agree with is what our reality is. And if we're not agreeing with it, it's not, you know, we're not buying it. We're seeing it differently, and it's a different story. And so all of this is what's creating your reality and my reality. It's the stories we tell ourselves. We imagine that, we believe it, we feel and experience it that way, and that is our reality. And that's what looks like this is getting into, and Yoski is trying to explain it here as well. Okay, let's see how am I doing here?
What is going on is that from here, we, or the Federation in the Andromeda biosphere, can only access the limited part of the mirrors of the people living on Earth, 5D mirrors with little to no power.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of looking at it from that set and subset thing. It's like, yeah.
Because who is controlling it all is the collective on Earth, from Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's how we think it and feel it and believe it and create it. So we have to change that, don't we?
First have to get people to understand that the wool has indeed been pulled over their eyes. Whether they want to believe it or not, they have to unbelieve shit that they're unconsciously creating. And that's the problem. That's why I'm streaming this video right now. This is good. This is good stuff. This is actually better than I expected. Way better than I expected. So, you know, it's vibing. It's vibing on levels I've put to the test. So that's all I got to say on that.
And get organized. And how do we do this?
This right here.
You know, come on, we're smart. We can figure this out. We can come up with something. How do we organize ourselves strategically so that we can communicate on these major platforms, because that's our communication platforms, until we can come up with something better. But how do we organize ourselves in ways that we can effectively create change through empowering other human beings on Earth, boots on the ground, by sharing with them, a better story, because your story is going to be your reality. You already have a story right now, and that is your reality. So help enhance your story, remove stuff that's disempowering, beliefs and ideas and things like that. Remove that. And agreements, remove those.
Grassroots think tank is my way of doing it. Getting everybody talking about this kind of stuff, putting it into our collective consciousness, the thoughts, these ideas, these empowering things. All this is empowering, literally saying you have magic that you don't know have. Magic to create your reality. The magic to, like I said earlier, hold a freaking glass of water and put the intention that you will be receiving more money, or that you will, be happier in some form or fashion. You create it, but be specific. It's kind of like that genie lamp story. Uh, what is it? He was like too specific and or not specific enough. He ended up like screwed up. But it's you got to be specific, or it's gonna kind of you'll get what you want, and then you'll realize you should have been more specific about it.
Revoke those agreements, and then establish new agreements, agree to more empowering beliefs, and believe in yourself, that you are a creator being, that you have a lot of power and influence, and you can make changes, and you can be of great value and a great contribution to the positive changes that we can create and are creating in this world. And this sort of empowering teaching and sharing of information and inspiration is and come up with new ways to get organized or be organized or make the connection, be connected with communication, so that we can together create a greater, more empowering, fresher reality for Earth now, and as it unfolds before our very eyes, as we create moment by moment our experience here as our reality, Earth. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for a place to wrap up, by the way.
So, from that point of view, and even though it is Saturn who is controlling Earth, so to speak, the real controllers are the people on Earth, broken shoes, using the collective unconscious for better or worse. So, I can also explain this as no one is controlling Earth but the collective unconscious.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so, did you get that? Pretty good, huh? Isn't that great? These are the Tibetan Pleiadians, and this is Yaski Swaru, and she's in direct communication with Gosha, and they've got a lot of great videos on this subject, the Galactic Federation, and they're looking at it from various levels, and the more you understand, the more you become enlightened, and you take away what you like, and if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It's about awakening and empowering us to create the changes we want to experience in this life. Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you all very, very much for everything you're doing to help awaken us. And I'm personally getting a lot out of it. I'm waking up more. I'm understanding this on a deeper, better level. And it's working for me. Highly recommend these guys. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching. And I will talk to all of you later. All right? Okay. Thank you, Yaski, Anika, Gosha, Robert, and the rest of the team.
Right. So, and thank you, Rich, for your input, your wisdom on this, your experience. Really cool guy. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Again, I'll put the link to video that we've been watching here and discussing. I'll put that in the description, and most likely we'll take this two-part stream and combine it and just upload a new video. And you guys can leave comments on that one to discuss it as sort of the grassroots think tank. Apparently, it just wanted me to be a girl because I'm still streaming. It's been 18 minutes now, and I pushed the streaming software a little bit more by changing scenes and whatnot, and I don't know. Hopefully, it just needed to be rebooted. There was some driver kerfuffle going on. Maybe I think with the Brio, the error logs show a bunch of OBS browser WS closed StreamKit Discord overlay JS error, some sort of JavaScript error. It looks like. Who knows? Doesn't make any sense to me. Um, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna actually find like something else to stream and watch like this because I honestly have a lot of things to do, and this was good enough. Sitting here and listening to this, doing kind of a reaction video of my own. So maybe I'll pop on in a little bit, different topic, different thing to listen to and to give some feedback on. What I'm gonna do tonight. So if you like this sort of stream, stick around. Um, I'll pull something else out of the bag we can enjoy. A lot of you guys, I hate to just end the stream, but 7 of you guys hanging out with me. But I don't want to, just start a whole brand new bag with this topic, right? Um, so anything, any potentially interesting topics you want to throw out there while I still got you guys in chat? See, damn Squatch, how's it going, man? True that VR stuff's going to be a processor pusher. Yeah, it's actually not. It's actually not a processor pusher as much as it's killing my video card. My video card is more of an entry level sort of card. It's the 2060 RTX. So I stepped up from the 970, which was the very entry level card to get sort of the next gen entry level card. And if I could have done it again, I would have just bumped up to the 2070 or the 2070 Super because that one's a whole lot more value, a whole lot more speed in comparison, and it only would have been about 150 more. Um, but now with the 30 series cards, the RTX 3060 would be like the equivalent to my 2060, and it's so much better. But I'm gonna go get the 3080 if I can, and that's more like a $600 or $700 card. Ooh, I love you guys. you know, this is for you guys. I don't need a better video card to play any games that I want. I just want a better video card so that I can stream not just games to you guys, but some next level shit like that Avatarify thing that I do with the Pee Wee Herman face or me looking like Scott Kelly on the ISS controlling. That kills my video card. That kind of stuff right there is next level stuff I want to show you. I want to get into AI. I want to get into some stuff that might require my computer's video card better as a minimum just to even do. And it's really there in some levels when I look at some of the AI minimum specs. So have to do that as sort of a way for me to learn and grow, and it's becoming necessary. So I don't have so many of these like what's breaking types of streams because I'm literally pushing this thing too much, and it's like causing issues. It's causing random things. When I'm in VR trying to like the game might be fine, but if I open up the windows to look at the chat room, it goes to shit. Everything's like, and it's just my video card. It's not my processor. My processor's sitting there like, oh, poor video card. Yeah. So it's funny. Even the games that I run, I have to limit them to only use I think at max 8 processors out of 24. So I have 12 processors physical, and they hyperthread, so they double. So it's called simultaneous multi-threading with AMD. It's called hyperthreading with Intel. Same concept, but they just double. So I can go in a program and tell a game to run only 8 of those processors, the very first set, and then OBS runs like 4 or 5 processors somewhere in the middle, and then anything to do with VR's Oculus home screen loading up shit is only running the 4 processors at the very end. And I've watched and monitored, their usage to see if anything's being overloaded or needs more processors. I've tweaked it over time. But it all comes down to like I'm micromanaging the shit out of programs so that it gives my video card a little little headroom, but not much. It's still limited. Anyway, yeah, I got the money to spend on the card. The problem is video card world right now is so screwed up. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you caught the last stream that I was on doing when I was talking about the video card stuff, but well, now I got my brain preoccupied. I'm trying to switch scenes here. A second. Oh man, see, this is also a problem. I'm torturing my computer with like filters, 2 different versions of Snapcam kind of running here that probably shouldn't be making OBS do. So like, there's things that I know I'm doing wrong that could probably cause potential crashes, and my computer is not. But whatever. Yeah, where's I going with that? I'm rambling. I think I saw this guy on David Nino Rodriguez channel before. Very knowledgeable. Oh, you saw it? Yeah, he's probably been on a couple. Yeah. Thanks, One Big Pond. Appreciate that. Love to all. Hope you got house built the other night. Unplugging, dude. Oh, the house. What was I playing? The forest. Yeah, man. I built the house. I don't know if you're still here, but I built that. What happened? At the end of that stream, I died and I lost that whole little thing. But I started the game back up, and I went in the cave. I found a cave, and I'm like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna beat some ass. Like, I'm mad now that the game crashed and I lost all that. So I went in and I found a katana, and I whooped a bunch of ass. Stole a bunch of sodas and electronics and ropes and tape. I got stocked up on goodies. They're pissed. And now I know how to fight. I got a katana, and I saved the game again. So when I start back up, it's gone. Gonna be fun. I'm trying to get my girlfriend to buy it. She's said she's probably gonna buy it soon. So she might be in there with me. Another uh, supporter of the stream said that she wants to play it. Her and maybe her boyfriend will be playing too. So that'd be cool. I have a little crew and then somebody else too. So yeah, if you got a PlayStation 4, check it out. The Forest. You can come and help me defend myself from figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing because I think I made an axe. That's all I can combine so far. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm badass with a katana and I chop the hell out of trees. The thing about the VR version is you can go as fast as you want. So I'm like chopping some trees down. Um, so yeah, I'll be the builder. I'll be the harvester. Later, horny ticks. All right. Peace, bro. Good night. So yeah, I'll be back on with something else. We'll do this again because I have a bunch of shit that I'm doing, and just listening to these videos is something I'm gonna be doing anyway. But I'll be back, guys.